trained in using gaming peripherals. About 80% of the US player base consists of these rodents instead of humans. After actively playing League Rank for less than 2 weeks, I can tell it makes me a worse human being. I'm not even joking. I stopped hanging out with my friends on Discord. My girlfriend was at my place for a week, and I still spent several hours a day in front of the computer even when she was sick with a fever.
Addiction.
I compulsively kept queuing up for game after game after game, even when I felt miserable or pissed off. I would
That is so
continually
addiction.
skip sleep even though I'm well aware of how much worse it makes me feel.
Oh, that
I
is
stopped
so
taking care of
relatable,
myself,
dude.
Stopped working out, stopped cooking food, began to order junk food, and generally just sacrificed having enough time and a surplus of energy.
I finally got out of that. Over these past 2 years, I was more and more getting into that as well. I mean, some of the stuff he said earlier is still the case, but about the eating habit. The eating habit is, I think, the worst out of all. Like, you barely get to move anymore, your sleep schedule get fucked, you neglect your friends, whatever, girlfriend, family. But the worst part is, your eating habit gets fucked. And it was happening to me. I was starting to grow a fucking belly like shit. I somehow got that in control this past few months. Because I started giving less shit about the game. And started looking more and more on my health and my eating habit. And fixed that a little bit. For a while, I stopped eating any salad for months. I haven't eaten an apple in a year. Like any fruit, dude. But I just, finally got back on that. Like, I was going downhill all the ways. Mentally, physically. Also what I started doing is, there's all the stress that he talks about. Because you can't even fucking type anything in the chat without just getting banned. But all the stress you get from the first game of the day, and you play like, 10 games a day or whatever, all the stress, the tilt, that shit is unhealthy. That is cancerous. Literally cancerous. It's stress, it's frustration, you keep that inside you. It causes cancer, literally, dude. And instead of eating up all that frustration, I just started doing more sport, and it actually helps, dude. Like, just doing something, punching a wall, whatever it is. Get a boxing sack, whatever. But you gotta do it. This game is cancer. It's not worth it. All this stuff is not worth this game. No veggie, now more like fruit, no apple. I haven't eaten apple for so long, but I ate a few all the time. Like, it's just, I don't know why, but your eating habit goes downhill really hard with this mental. Because you just don't want to eat any of that. So you end up barely eating any veggies or fruits for whatever reason. It's just, you're just in that mindset, like completely disconnected from everything. This is so far so relatable, dude.
Friends, family, and the rest of my life. I know it sounds like a meme, but I'm dead serious. This is what I looked like 2 weeks ago, and this is what I look like now. What the fuck? This is what rank will
Why
do
is he
to you
naked
kids.
on the
I
left
pretty much had a
picture?
six-pack.
Wow.
2 weeks. I did that
Wow.
in 2 weeks. And the thing is,
Am I gonna get
normally
banned?
I don't
What the
have time
fuck,
for my
dude?
friends or my girlfriend or my family or my life or taking care of myself.
He was literally
That's
naked on
alright,
that.
because it's my decision. I choose to prioritize my job
that
over
was
people
proper
in my life
proper
because it matters
six-pack.
a lot to me. Every now and then I have a huge project that I'm very passionate about and I really just want to put my everything into it. But when it's something I don't have control over, it pisses me off. When I just keep clicking ranked, queue up, play another game.
No control over it. Again, what Riot has been doing to the game this past years, they take control away from the player more and more. In their game, matchmaking, you can type in chat. You're an NPC. You're a worthless, stupid, random NPC, a number, just like everybody else. Basically, what they want you to be is, your person is the same. Let's say you're a diamond player. You're the same person in game as the person on bronze. Or any other elo, any region. You all behave the same, like linear, like fucking communist. Like a fucking communist game, dude. It's a communist fucking game. They want you to all behave the same, think the same, do the same. Oh, god, this game!
I don't even enjoy it. If you can't tell, I didn't make it to Diamond, by the way. I gave up on the final night at 5 AM in Plat 2. And to be honest, I probably belong in Plat anyways. It's become clear to me that spending excessive periods of time trying to better my ability in competitive League is a really poor way to prioritize my time here in sentient existence. It might seem like a joke when people say it, but League can genuinely be an addiction. It's an extremely addictive game, and if you're in a period of your life where you're not feeling on top, perhaps you're not getting enough sleep, exercise, nutrition, or all of the above, then spending several hours a day in solo queue will fucking zoom you into a depression. Not just are you doing something mindlessly degenerating, you're exposing yourself to an environment mostly occupied by the mentally ill. And regardless of how much Riot promotes positivity in their game and makes their image as clean as possible, it just doesn't reflect reality. How are they opposed to toxicity yet they still add a thumbs up button? How is it that my account gets restricted and you take away my rewards for being mean in the chat, when there's literally oceans of people who can single-handedly ruin the entire game for 9 other people in a way that's technically not against the rules? I played several hundred...
Here's what I say. You cannot expect people to behave positive in a toxic environment. 1. You cannot ban somebody for being toxic if all they do is vent out or defend themselves. And you also cannot judge about someone if you're not ready to look at the context. Like the right piece of shit supporter told me, context doesn't matter, but I was negative and I should be positive no matter what. It's unrealistic. It's like these people failed in life. It's fucking unrealistic. And again, if I see some of the writers being active politically, like that one writer that got fired a while ago when I started following them, I would also see him often discussing about politics non-stop. If this is the same mindset you would apply in your political views that you do in the game, you would fuck over the world. This is unrealistic. Again, you cannot expect people to not be toxic or to be positive in a toxic environment. You can also not judge people if you're not ready to or not able to look at the context. And also you cannot punish people for venting out or defending themselves. You cannot do that. On top of it, and also you cannot give somebody a permaban and expect them to reform and praise people to reform, preach reforming and preach that you're saying that you're fighting toxicity in your game. That's not. These guys completely missed the whole point about everything in life, in their game and life. It's fucking unrealistic. Their whole system is broken. And again, the reason they indefinitely banned Tyler 1 back then, they were planning to unban him at some point in the future. They were planning to do that. It's their plan. They do it to show that, and it hit Tyler 1 especially because he's the most known player that would, get out the message from Riot. Basically, their goal was to make it look like their system works. Look, we made this guy who was so overly toxic. We made him reform. You know why I know that? Who remembers Ocelot times? Let's see, who remembers Ocelot? From Owned TV times. Who remembers that? Oh god. You remember Ocelot times, right? When he was like, people were losing their shit over him being all toxic, and then there was the screenshot about him where he flamed an Amumu who was trolling or something, telling him to get cancer in the chat, in a stream. And everybody would call him toxic. And then I guess he somewhat reformed over the time, became a pro player, went, was successful with his team, etc. And I remember Back then, Riot made this promotional video about Ocelot. Controlling the beast, right? Wait. Conspiracy? Nah, this is facts. Did they delete the video?
Basically, I felt actually pretty good because
I can't find the original video.